My name is Alex Alassem from the Faculty of Business Management under the Department of Leadership and Governance uh, at the Open University of Tanzania. We are here now again this session in Knowledge Area 6 to discuss on the course titled Performance Management, ORG 117. This course, this area, Knowledge Area 6, will cover some of the issues, that is motivation, alignment, technology, and the future of performance management. Under this, now we are going to start or commence with motivation and performance management. How these issues relate together, how they move together. Before we go further, let's move on. Understanding motivation. Motivation, we can say, the application of the theory of motivation is based on the number of assumptions and generalization. Motivation as an issue pervades the study of performance management and employee compensation and the reward system. That's all these issues correlate together or move together. The key question of reward system is what makes us stick. Ideas about motivation are fundamental to several theoretical responses to that question. That is according to Krenberg et al. 1990. The theories or the theorists differ in the emphasis which they place on the dynamic and the motivational aspect of performance, depending on the aspect of personality, which are the focus of their interest. Now let us see the meaning of motivation. When we talk or when we say motivation, what do we mean? And what comes in your mind when we say motivation or when we talk about motivation? Motivation is incidental to or defined by goal-directed behavior. That is Locke. This implies so motivation is incidental to, or we can say motivation is defined by goal-directed behavior. Goal-directed. What do we expect to achieve? The end result. What is that? What do we expect? That's motivation. This implies that motivation is concerned with the strength and the direction of that behavior. In other words, it implies that motivation takes place when people expect that a course of action is likely to lead to the attainment of a goal and a valued reward, one which satisfies their particular needs. So when an employee or a person focuses and sees that at the end result, when I achieve this, I will have this, that can motivate a person to work hard or do something. Well, motivated people are therefore those with clearly defined goals who take action which they expect will achieve those goals. At work, people of strong developed feelings of behavior, commitment, as the literature argues that they acknowledge that the efforts are required to further both the needs of the organization and their own needs or their own needs or their own interest. Therefore, in the context of performance management model, the process of motivation entails positive reinforcement progression. Now let us see the process of motivation. The process of motivation. The process of motivation can be molded into some stages below. This is a needs-related model. The process of motivation is the needs-related model, and it suggests that Motivation is initiated by conscious or unconscious recognition of unsatisfied needs. These needs create wants, which are desires to achieve goals or obtain something. That is the process of motivation. It involves, it involves, and it creates some of the needs that a person can be conscious, initiates by conscious or unconscious recognition. One, this model it entails a need which establishes goal and takes action and attain the goal. Goals are then established which will satisfy these needs. So when you have a need, then you have not to establish a goal to attain or satisfy the need or the want, and behavior trait is selected which is expected will facilitate the achievement of the goal. If the goal is achieved, the need will be satisfied and the behavior is likely to be repeated. The next time a similar need emerges, if the goal is not achieved, the same action is less likely to be repeated. So when a goal or a want is satisfied immediately, what made the satisfaction of of that want or need, uh, the action will be repeated. So if a person is not satisfied with his own need, that is automatically the behavior will not be repeated. This model describes how individual motivation process takes place. It is based on the motivational theories related to needs, that's achievement, goal, equity, uh, behavior modeling, that is reactance and expectance as described in the previous session. It is also influenced by three concepts relating to motivation, that is behavior, reinforcement, hemostasis, intrinsic and extrinsic theories. The model can be used to illustrate a process of motivation which involves setting of corporate goals that are likely to meet individual and organization needs and wants and encourage the behavior required to achieve the goal, be it in individual goals, organizational goals, or group goals. Those are all involved in the whole process. Let's check now when we talk about the intrinsic, intrinsic and the extrinsic motivation. What do we mean? Like 1995, this is the scholar suggests that an individual can useful be conceived as a system of biological needs, psychological motives, values, and perception. This means that an individual system operates so as to maintain its internal balance in the face of the demands placed upon it by external forces, and it develops in response to his or her basic basic needs to solve the problem presented by the external environment. Now, but an alternative argument could be that each individual system will have unique characteristics because different individual systems develop with different patterns of needs, values, and perceptions, and individual systems are not static but continue to develop as they encounter new problems and experiences. Now, let's see the main difference between intrinsic and extrinsic. The main difference between these two types of motivation is that extrinsic motivation can have an immediate and powerful effect, but it will not necessarily last long. That is extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation, which concerned with the quality of working life. For instance, a phrase and movement which emerged from this concept are likely to have a deeper and long-term effect because they are inherent in individuals and not imposed from outside. Having seen the types of motivations, let's check the development in theories of motivation. The process of motivation is broadly based on a number of theories which attempt to provide an in-depth understanding of what it is all about. Theories. These theories have proliferated over the years and includes, among others, some of the theories. Let's have a look on them. So, although we know to go deep on the discussions concerning theories, we are just touching how motivation relates to performance of an individual or of the organization. One, the instrumentality theories, based largely on the scientific management writings of Taylor, 1890 to 1911. The needs or content theories. This this is the development in the theories. There are many, or there are a lot of theories that have been developed by different scholars. And then now here down, we are just trying to check out to make just a view of it and see. And there later we see how these motivations with their theories, motivations, and those theories how relate to performance management. As we have said, there is instrumentality theories. So the theories were developed due to instrumentality theories. That is based largely on the scientific management writings by Taylor. The needs of content theory, as developed by Maslow and Andaffa, 1972, and Mark Cleland, 1975. The other one is the process of cognitive theories, which are concerned much with the psychological processes or forces which influences motivations as affected by people's perceptions of their working environment and the ways in which they interpret and understand the field. Those are just the areas which shows the development in theories of motivations. Let's check now the process theories in place. The processes theories in place. This is the expectant theory and goal setting theory, uh, reactance theory, uh, and the equity theory, and Adams 1965, and the other includes Herzberg theory 1957, two-factor theory, that is motivation and hygiene theory, behavioral theory, that is by Skinner 1974, and social learning theory as developed by Bandura 1977. Now let's check the relationship between motivation and performance. How performance relate to motivation and how motivation influence performance. How is performance influenced by motivations? That's the question that now we have to respond to it. There is this extrinsic motivation and intrinsic motivation. Most of extrinsic motivations is upon the issue of money. Money in the form of pay or some other sort of remuneration is the most obvious extrinsic reward. Money provides the calorie which most of people want. And here now, even if you are listening now here, you can check yourself. Are you motivated by money or any remuneration as a reward? That is when you fall in the group of what? Of extrinsic reward. Now we can say, however, doubts have been cast in the literature on the effectiveness of money. It is argued that while the lack of money can cause dissatisfaction, its provision does not result in lasting satisfaction either. That is by Hensberg. There is something in this, especially for people on fixed salaries or rates of pay who do not benefit directly from an incentive scheme. They may feel good when they get an increase apart from the extra money. It is a highly tangible form of recognition and an effective means of helping people to feel that they are valued. When you are rewarded, you feel valued, but external and internal rewards. But this feeling of jubilation can rapidly die away. Rock and Hen, 1986, argue that there is a strong link between an employee's performance, pay, and motivation. As noted by Goldthorpe, by Goldthorpe in 1968 from their research into the affluence worker pay. Pay is the dominant factor in the choice of employer, and the considerations of pay seem most powerful in binding people to their present job. So when the people are well paid, they can stay longer. That's we call green pasture. Financial incentives do motivate people who are strongly motivated by money and whose expectations that they will receive a financial reward are high. So a person with such expectations will work hard to gain or to get an incentive of money. But less confident employees may not respond to incentives which they do not expect to achieve. It can also be argued that extrinsic rewards may erode intrinsically interested people who work just for money could find their task less pleasurable and may not therefore do them so well. These are the arguments between these two, extrinsic and intrinsic types of motivation. What we do know, what we do know is that a multiplicity of factors is involved in the performance improvement, and many of those factors are interdependent. They depend to each other. Money can therefore provide positive motivation in the right circumstances, not only because people need and want money, but also because it serves as a high tangible means of recognition. So now you can see how money acts as a motivator factor to performance. When a person expects to get some amount of money or some amount of say incentives or allowance, this can motivate him or her to work hard in order to get that amount of money. And many scholars has argued that money acts as a very or highly tangible means of recognition. Although there are other motivating factors different from money. But the badly designed and managed the compensation and the reward system can demotivate people or the employees of the organization. If the employees are not well motivated, it is if the employees are not well rewarded or the reward system is not well or the compensation process is poor, automatically the employees will be demotivated to the great extent. According to Ted Kenton, 1986, they will be concerned with measuring motivation to provide an indication of areas where motivation practices needed to be improved, ensuring so far as possible that employees feel they are valued, developing behavior commitment, developing an organizational climate which will foster motivation, improving improving leadership skills, job designs, performance management, compensation, and reward management, and the use of behavioral modifications approaches. These are some of the approaches that can be used to make our employee or the staff motivated. That was about motivation. Now, align performance management with organization strategy, values, and organization and goals. So, align and the performance management. Alignment of, of various issues in the organization go with the performance management. Now, alignment is a key issue also. Performance management to be successful in organization, there must have alignment. As alignment is the extent to which employees are similarly connected to or have a consistent line of sight to the vision and direction of the organization and its customers, often encapsulated within its current strategy. Now let us check. Alignment and performance uh, is a crucial issue to be understood by all the people working in different areas, all the students that now we are teaching or listen to this. We have now to be aware that alignment is the issue of connected to, similarly connected to, or have a consistent line of sight and visions. Now, this alignment will normally include three elements. Alignment and performance its relation include three elements. One, the line of sight of employees, that the behaviors and results with unit department and overall organizational goals. The line of sight. How do you see? How do you organize your issues? How do you move together? The relationship, the behavior of employees, the results with unit and the unit department, and how people work in teams. This is an element of alignment upon performance management. The line of sight to customers, needs and expectations. Now, how do we align the demands of customers? How do we align the needs of customers? How do we align the expectations of the customers? This is the other element about alignment. Now, the issue here is alignment and the performance management to connect various issues concerning the organization towards the performance of the organization. And the third element of alignment is behaviors that are in sync with organization plans, that the behavior of the majority, the behavior of the people in the organization must also correlate or relate to the organization plan. That's the element that has to be aligned with the performance management. Now let us see the business impact of low alignment. When there is a great failure of alignment with the performance, what happens? There is confusion of blood promise. The brand says this way, but the majority of the employees, they don't believe in it. So becomes confused. Even the customers are confused about the brand. Many urgent but not important activities. So if there is poor alignment or low alignment with the performance management, you can be having many agents, no priorities on the issues, many activities, but with no alignment with performance. Non-competitive cost due to low productivity resulting from misdirected activities or talent. The potential. You fail to identify talented people, potential people, so that to easily utilize their potential. As we know, potential is an idle ability that need to be utilized. So if potential is an idle ability, it is easier now in the organization, uh, when you fail to understand this, when you fail to align people, there are people that are very talented in some areas, specialize in some areas. You fail to align, you automatically have low productivity. Overstaffing, you can have more staffs. You can have more than staffs to compensate for time lost or low values activities. This is a result of what? Of low alignment, strategy, slow strategy execution. This is the knowledge. So you fail to execute your strategy. Low teamwork, high conflict across interdependent units, talent loss, low customer certifications, realities. That's no honesty. That is a failure of an organization or a business to align its activities with all issues that will lead to performance, high performance. As the result, will result into what we call competitive edge. Will result into competitive edge. Now let us see what are the drives of alignment. What drives alignment? There are 7 drivers of high alignment. That include a clear, agreed on vision and strategy. That's the first. A clear, agreed on vision and strategy. So when you don't know where you're moving to, you never reach. You cannot achieve what you haven't seen in your mind. So if the organization haven't seen some performances or haven't seen some results when they perform something, will result to low performance. Translation, these are the drivers of alignment. Transition. So in in aligning, trying to align your activities with the performance management, you do something called translation of vision and strategy into clear, understandable goals and measures. The other driver is acceptance or passion for the vision, strategy, goals among those who are implementing them. The other driver is clarity regarding individual roles and requirements in supporting the strategic goals and the extent to which these have been effectively cascaded and interlinked across the organization. Sufficient capabilities like talents, informations, and resources to deliver the behavior needed to reach the goals. The other one is clear, timely feedback on goal attainment and the drivers of those goals. And the last one is meaningful incentives to encourage employees to develop or deploy sufficient capabilities to achieve their goals. Those are the drivers of alignment. When people in the organization, the management, the top management are forced to align things due to those drivers. Now let us move to the last part, uh, that is technology and the performance management. How technology relates to performance management. The main concern in this part is the process of performance management and what role technology can play when developing and using a performance management system. Performance. So performance management, it involves processes. It involves some stages. Now let's check or see, check the best practice recommendations for how technology can be used to can be used for each stage of the performance management process. It's very important, be keen and see how technology has a direct impact to performance management system or process of the performance management. One, prerequisites. Provide mapping tools to business unit can visually articulate how their strategy aligns with the broader organizational priorities. Complete job analysis activities to identify the position or critical job task, that is knowledge, skills, experience, age, and other issues. Collect quantitative data on performance dimension and let in format before they are finalized. Now you see how technology plays an important and vital role in performance management system. Technology also offers access to performance management standards and the processes as they are established and or devised. Now, performance planning. When you are in this stage in performance planning, technology plays an important role also. Use a shared electronic workspace, or to collaborative create a performance plan, incorporate automated messages to alert stakeholders when the performance plan is modified, link the plan. That's technology. Technology link the plan and associate performance competences to, to an online database of organization training and development opportunity. Also, performance execution. In the performance execution stage, technology, uh, there is a use of performance uh, uh, we call electronic performance management. We can say to report current performance status and performance status changes to managers for coaching and feedback opportunity. Technology track achievement of of performance goals and revise prioritization of goals and projects over time. Also, submit electronic requests for performance feedback from stakeholders upon project completion. Store performance letter profiles in the form of connection within the professional networking structure. That is technology. Performance assessment. Track objective performance indicators such as profitability over the performance period. Collect subjective performance data using technology-enabled methodologies such as computerized adaptive rating scale. Create managerial dashboards to aggregate performance data and provide a window into performance results. Let's move to the performance review. In the performance review, use data from the integrated performance portal to identify the appropriate time for performance review rather than basing it on the calendar year. Offer online managerial training or performance review, and that's the good news. Technology offers online managerial training or performance review and feedback based practices. Performance renewal and deconstructing. Use performance report to revise the previous performance plan, update performance goals at the individual and business unit level to reflect the new performance initiatives and to align with new organization strategy goals. Aggregate performance data over employee life cycle to create a graphical timeline of performance. That is technology. Succession planning. Use data from the performance management system to identify and track high potential employees. Technology can be used to track the high potential employee, talented employee in the organization for succession planning. That's also it creates a networking portal for employees to post the professional profiles and uh, review developmental and monitoring opportunities. Uh, that is, offers tools for employees to map their anticipated career path. Now, we have seen how motivation relates to performance management and how alignment is important to performance management. And lastly, we have seen how technology plays an important role in the whole process or whole stages or all stages of performance management in our organization. Thank you for listening and wish you good time and see you in the next session. This is our end of our session. Thank you for your participation. God bless you.